throw in time at first for out number 2. Now batting, Fernando Tatis Jr. Here's the first pitch to him. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Well, he kind of tipped his hand right there. His approach is obviously sitting on the off speed because he was so late on that first pitch heater.
Now a ball swung on and heading for the stands in right, and that'll move the count to 1-2 now. Oh, and this is hit high and deep out to left. And that is off the wall. And he'll make it to second base now with 2 gone.
That is it. The catcher, JT Realmuto.
At the plate now, JT Realmuto. And a swing from him yields a foul pop out of play to the right. Opportunity for him here to pick up that runner from second with 2 away. Getting a few steps off of second there. Now the pitch. And he fouls this one off. A decent lead at second. Here's the pitch. Line drive base hit. Tatis is on his way home. Safe at the plate as they extend their lead to 3. Standing in now, Chipper Jones as he swings and grounds it toward the hole. And that finds its way through for a base hit. And that runner will go no further than second as there are 2 aboard now.
The second baseman.
In now, Brian Roberts. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. Another first inning RBI opportunity for him here. Pulled toward right center field. Right fielder giving chase. He tracks it down, and that will end the inning. Into the box now, Bo Bichette. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first. And he throws the fastball by him here, 0-1. And he takes this one high, 1-1. Now a swing, and he gets him to pop it up. And there to grab it is Roberts for the first out. Stepping in for the Jays, Jonathan Davis.
Number 49.
Pitch swung on and hit in the air toward the line in right. And that's in there, base hit. Into the box, Lourdes Gurriel, as he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. Starts to go around here, but it doesn't matter. This is strike 2 anyway. Ground ball to second. This could be 2. 1 there. Relay to Freddie. Double play. Joey Gallo will grab a bat and hit for the pitcher here.
Joey Gallo.
Second inning starts with a fastball that misses. It's 1-0. A swing and a shot hit down the corner. Nearly a big fly to start the inning. Instead, a foul ball. Gallo swings, and this one is crushed out to right field. And goodbye. This one ain't coming back. Stepping in now, Willie Mays. Now a ball lined to the left side. But this is a foul ball. Now a check swing, but he holds up in time. Ball 1. This is lined to left. But he'll hardly need to move out there in left as this is hauled in for the first out.
Now back.
Stepping into the box, Minnie Minoso. He flew out in his last at-bat. In on the hands a bit with the fastball. It's 1-0. Line to the right side. Grichuk is back in plenty of time to put this away, however, and there are 2 gone. So bases are empty here with 2 gone. And into bat next, one of the best run producers in the game, the left-handed hitting first baseman Freddie Freeman. Ball 1 to start the at-bat. Hard liner to center field. And that'll get down out there for extra bases. And he is into second with a 2-out double.
Now back, left field,
Here's J.D. Martinez as the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball 1. 0 for 1 for him here in this one.
Nope.
Ball 2 now.
Hey, always a good idea to take a couple of pitches when you're facing a young arm like this one. And now he's put himself in a real good hitter's count.
Back up the middle. Oh, a diving effort as it's off his glove. And no chance at a recovery here, as despite a great effort that time, they won't get an out on the play. Sam Gaviglio trots in from the bullpen here as he inherits a tough spot with 2 on and 2 away. Up next is Fernando Tatis Jr. Now a ball lined to the left side. Foul. The 0-1. Hit in the air down the right field line. And foul. Looking to minimize the damage here. In the dirt and blocked behind the plate. Good work there to prevent any advance. It's 1-2. Has a look, now the pitch. Checks his swing here, but he does so in time.
Hey, great job of holding up right there. Little 2-out lightning might ensue by 1 check swing holding up.
And he lays off, so it's full now, 3-2.
3-2, 2 out, runner on first. Lots of possible outcomes on this pitch.
Now the payoff pitch home. To short, hit hard. On to second for the force out, and the side is retired. Nick Anderson gets the call from the bullpen to pitch in relief.
now pitching.
So that'll bring in Teoscar Hernandez. And they've got some work to do early on. Down 4-0 already. Grounded to third. Scooped up. Throw by Chipper, and there's 1 away. Next to bat for Toronto, Travis Shaw. Just got a piece of it as it's fouled back. 0-2 to Travis Shaw.
In my opinion, one of the toughest pitches in the game to square up. Just a heavy sinker with good downward action.
So he chased out of the strike zone on that one. Travis Shaw becomes out number 2 this inning. Here's the first pitch to him. Had him reaching that time. It's strike 1. A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2. Hard liner to center field. That gets down, and the inning will continue. And now it'll rattle up against the wall.
Number 10.
So now to the plate, Reese McGuire, as he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. And he gets him to swing through that one. He's in control, 0-2. Now a new inning set to get underway. Ready now, JT Realmuto looking to follow up the RBI single from his first at-bat. Popped him up. McGuire is there, 1 away. So 1 away in the inning, and that'll bring up the always dangerous Chipper Jones. First offering on its way. No balls and 1 strike. Hard hit to the left side, but taken in out there, it's short. As he'll hang on here to record the second out. Now here's the pitch. Lays off 1-0. A bouncer up the middle. And that's through for a base hit. Make him 1 for 2 in this one. Curtis Granderson will get the call here as he'll hit for the pitcher. Runners on the move for second. A pitch out. The throw. And they'll nail him at second on a... Josh Hader takes the mound here. Not a save. A big lead, but he'll try to finish it out nonetheless. There's the fastball that gets the lower part of the zone, called for a strike.
That front door slider is a devastating pitch. By the time you realize it's in the zone, it's too late. You can't even put a good swing on it.
Swing and a miss, and that'll get a groan from the home supporters here. One away. Strike one to start the at-bat. Line towards center field, and that's into the outfield for a one-out base hit. Number 9 batter comes through that time, as it'll now be up to the top of the order with one away. And a little behind on the fastball there as he pokes it foul at strike one. And that misses 1-1. Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1-2. A great pitch there as he couldn't get extended on that one, and he's down on strikes for the second out. And here's a fastball called for strike one. Good fastball as he gets the swing and a miss. Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. Final strike for the Blue Jays. A ball and 2 strikes now. And it's fouled away. Rolled slowly down the first baseline. But this is a foul ball as the count holds steady at 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that'll do it here as the ball game is over. 4-0 to score this afternoon. Toronto posted a 3-run first to propel them to the win. Heidi Watney met with the players earlier. Heidi, where do you sense this team is mentally coming into this division series?
Leading off for the Dodgers, the catcher, Will.
Here's the first pitch to him.
Ball one.
It's been almost 15 years since they've been here, but the San Diego Padres have arrived back in the postseason. Guys, after 10 straight years below 500, this has to feel amazing for the team and their fans.
That's an understatement, Matty. They've lost 90 games or more in each of the past 4 seasons coming into this year. So this is a massive turnaround. And hey, guys, look out if they get past this division series. Both times they've made it to the NLCS, they wound up going to the World Series.
First offering on its way. Clayton Kershaw comes on with one gone here as he looks at a called strike one. Fastball, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2.
His command has been outstanding so far, hitting nearly all of his spots, and that's been a big factor why he's been so successful up to this point.
So he ran the fastball by him for the punch-out. Clayton Kershaw is sent packing for out number 2 in the 6th. Now a breaking ball, but it's low. Fastball, whoa, look out. That just about got him in the coconut.
Boy, that's a good pitch right there. The old school guys would call that a little bit of chin music up and in. See if he can get him to move off the box a little bit.
Fouled off. 2 out, nobody on. And good patience to hold back on the curveball in the dirt. It's full now, 3-2.
That pitch was way down on 2-2, but give the hitter some credit there. Sometimes with 2 strikes, you're more apt to expand the strike zone, but he didn't and held off on that one that wasn't even close.
No balls and a strike to count. Fouled away. He's ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he struck him out. His 8th punch out of the ball game, and that one ends the inning. And in steps Manny Machado. He's hoping to avoid the hat trick. He struck out in each of his first 2 plate appearances so far. Chopper to short. He's got it. And that's the first out. Digging in now for San Diego, Brian Dozier. He's 1 for 2 in this one. Now Dozier with a drive out to left field. It's looking up, and it's gone as they add still another.
Man, that swing right there, Dan, that had to feel good. You're facing an elite starter. You don't know if you're even going to get wood on the baseball today.
You know, that'll rattle you a little bit. This guy's been throwing the ball great, one of the top pitchers in the game. He's not used to guys barreling him up and hitting him in the seats.
The 1-0. High fly ball out to straightaway center. Peterson has a read on it, and he makes the catch for the second out. Ready for another shot now, Francisco Mejia. He comes in 0 for 2 thus far. Ball 1. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors in the ballgame for the Padres. 1-1 to count. Kershaw is ready. Here's the delivery.
2 balls, 1 strike.
And now this ball's lifted in the air down the right field line, but this will get back into the seats, so the count holds at 2-2. It's away. So here's Will Myers. He's 0 for 2 thus far in this one. He's ready. Here's the first offering.
Nope, outside.
The 1-0. Popped him up. Muncy in foul ground. And that ends the inning. So that'll bring in Mookie Betts, and he'll get us started in what's officially the back third of this one. And that one's in on the hands to start the inning. It's ball one. 2-0.
2-0 to a guy with this kind of pop, you better be awfully careful because he's going to be swinging out of his shoes.
And he fouls this one off. Into the windup. Here's the 2-1 pitch. To the left side, but it's well fouled. Third foul ball in a row, and this is turning into a pretty good at-bat. Now another 2-2. Got him swinging in the dirt. The throw to first is in time, one down. Next up for Los Angeles, Cody Bellinger. A hit and 2 tries for him so far. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. To right field and deep. Look at this thing go. And out of here. And I mean by plenty. That ball was crushed. Next up is Max Muncy. And he'll watch one miss up and away for a ball, 1-0. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. And that pitch misses in the dirt, and it's 2-0 now. Here it comes.
Gutsy pitch right there. 2-0 changeup for a strike. Good call by the catcher. Great execution by the pitcher.
Nearly got the inside, but ruled the ball.
When you're playing close games like this, base runners mean everything, so he can ill afford to start giving away free passes.
Had to sit back on the changeup, and he did a good job to get the bat on that one. The next 3-2. And he pops him up back behind second base. Tatis is there for it. 2 down. Here's Jock Peterson now. He was retired via the ground ball last time up. Swing, line, drive. That's going to be trouble. Digging for second now goes Peterson. The throw is wild, and he gets away. Well, they were having their troubles with his heater early, but not this time.
Yeah, after a while, a good hitting team is going to start catching up on that hard stuff. You can see that he tracks this thing all the way and just rips it to the wall. He's in the second with a double.
No hits to this point, and it's fouled away. Trying to hold the lead. Here's the delivery. Change up here, but that's taken low in the dirt for a ball. Peterson at second with 2 down. Hit out towards second. There is Dozier. He'll whip this one to first in time, and that ends. Jurickson Profar is up off the bench as he'll be asked to get something started in the home half of the 7th. Just able to get a piece of that for strike 1. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Hit in the air out to right. Giving chase is Bellinger. He gets there and makes the play for the first out. Next to the plate for the Padres, Tommy Pham. He was retired after popping out in his last at-bat. Hits this one hard the other way. Fielded cleanly, and he'll step on first himself for the out. Digging in once again, Adam Eaton. He's working on a 1-for-3 thus far. Check swing, but he held up in time. Ball 1. 2 runs, 7 hits. No errors in the ballgame for the Padres. Hit softly down the line at first. And he'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is. Emilio Pagan has been summoned from the bullpen as he'll do so to start the 8th. First delivery to him on the way. Will Smith is in for the third time now as he takes a called strike. It's 0-1. Ball 1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Popped him up. Hosmer has a play. Looks it into his glove, and there's one gone. Chris Taylor will pinch hit here, and he's the potential tying run.
Number 3.
And that misses ball 1.
Bobby Cox always used to say, I'm going to put you in positions to be successful. Well, against a modern-day bullpen, easier said than done. These guys are throwing flames from all arm angles.
1-2 now. And they'll try to get him fishing there, but he won't offer in the dirt, and it's back to even at 2-2. And now a slider in there for a called third strike, and there are 2 gone now. First offering on its way. Breaking ball that time that misses out of the zone. Pagan is one of those guys that just seems to be at his best under pressure. And the right fielder is there to make the catch, and Ross Stripling is on to pitch out of the bullpen in the bottom half of the 8th.
Number 68.
Up next is Fernando Tatis Jr. Yanked on the ground down the line. And that's a base hit, so a chance for some important insurance here to kick off the bottom of the 8th. And he's going to make it there. Barely, as he's into second base with a double. Well, it's always daunting to know that you've got to deal with the 3, 4, 5 hitters to start out an inning, but even more so when the 3 hitter starts it out with a double.
Yeah, he's going to have to start making some good pitches to get out of this thing. Job number 1 is to get the next guy, and ideally you keep him from advancing the runner to third with less than 2 outs.
The batter, number 9.
Digging in and looking for more, Brian Dozier. He homered earlier and is 2 for 3 to this point.
Yeah, Matt, that last at-bat, that was a pretty good pitch. A fastball down and away that he went out and hooked and pulled it. So if I'm on the mound right now, I'm going to have to think about throwing one up and in and standing this guy up to make that outside corner not as appealing.
Ready once again, Eric Hosmer, runner in scoring position with 2 gone.
Yeah, and this is the guy for me. I think this is the guy in the clubhouse that the guys truly gravitate towards.
A diving effort here as he gets a glove on it. And a good effort here, but he's well safe at first, and there are 2 on and 2 out now.
You never want to beat a pitcher that breaks a guy out of a slump, but this guy was too good. You knew it was a matter of time before he started barreling baseballs. That gives him a multi-hit game, and I'm sure he's feeling good about it.
At the plate, Francisco Mejia in the dirt and blocked behind the plate. No movement on base. It's ball 1. Hard hit ball to second. Oh, and he can't come up with it. And the 2-out threat will not come to pass. Next for the Dodgers, Corey Seager. For his career in this matchup, he's a perfect 2 for 2. He also has 1 home run. Here comes the 0-1. This is popped up. Dozier is there, 1 away. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Mookie Betts is at the plate as he takes a cold strike 1.
Yeah, he made up his mind early to take the first pitch because that thing was right down the middle.
Behind 0-2 now. Struck him out. Struck him out again, I should say. His 3rd punch out of the game. Dodgers are down to their final out now. And that'll bring forward Cody Bellinger.
To show you how strong.
There's a swing and a drive hit well out to right field. But this is taken in as a perfect metaphor to end this one, as that ball was hit hard, but the ball game is over.
You